Welcome to the Emerging Lawyer series at the Coffee Conversation Show powered by the Emerging India Forum TEIF and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Theme is Patents, Progress and Purpose. Neeraj Panchal on IP and innovation. In today's knowledge-driven economy, ideas are the most valuable assets an organization can own. Protecting them requires not just legal expertise but vision, foresight, and leadership. In this episode, we sit down with Neeraj Panchal, Assistant General Counsel IP at John Deere, who brings over 25 years of experience in intellectual property rights. From building IP governance frameworks to driving innovation culture, Neeraj has dedicated his career to safeguarding ideas while enabling organizations to thrive globally. Join us as we explore his professional journey, insights on innovation, personal experience that shaped his path, and we also come to know Neeraj as a person. And we are now at AWFIS co-working space, BKC. And welcome, Neeraj. And
Thank you.
friends, especially come down from Pune for this in-person coffee shoots. So and we are ending 2025. So it's all memorable moment.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
So let me explain you. There'll be 3 rounds, Neeraj. Professional journey, personal journey, and a surprise rapid fire round where you're in the hot seat. You have to be witty, fun, and quick. And here's your gift.
Okay.
But इसको अब जीतना है.
We will try together.
Okay. So friends, let's begin the first round. I'm Ryan Amrani, host at Coffee Con, legal tech evangelist at Prime Infotech Solution, author of 15 books. So my first question, Neeraj, how has the journey shaped up and what were the key defining moments you had?
Long journey and amazing question. Thank you. First of all, I'm glad to be here with you. I have seen many of your podcasts which are amazing, and I think you are driving something meaningful for the fraternity, for the society. So thank you. And I'm really proud to be here today. Several defining moments. I did not have any idea that I would be landing up in IP. So this was an accident. But it's a beautiful accident. I was in Delhi those days, and like any young nomad, I was searching, finding, trying to figure out myself. And there was education fair at British Council Library in Delhi. And I was a shy, less English-speaking boy, standing at each of the booths of different universities. And almost at the end of my tour, I was at one particular university's booth, and the person standing there, he stopped me. And since I was collecting the brochures, he said, "Can I take it back?" And then I realized, did I do something wrong? Was I not supposed to collect these brochures? So he probably read my expressions and he said, "Wait, don't worry. I'll give it back to you. I just want to talk to you." I said, "Okay." So he said, "What are you looking for?" I said, "I don't know. I'm just figuring out." And then he said, "Okay, tell me what's your background and what are you doing right now, so I may be able to help you, guide you something." So I said, "I am a physics graduate, currently pursuing law, and this is where I am." So he said, "Why don't you go for IP, intellectual property?" So that was the first time in my life I heard this term, intellectual property. And I did not want to show him as if I, did not understand what's intellectual property. Then he continued. He said that, rice case, turmeric case, etc. So all those things he started mentioning. And that was the first time. Then very next day, or I think a couple of days later, I was at ILI, which is opposite to Supreme Court, Indian Law Institute. There I saw a workshop on IP. I said, "Wow, this is in India. I don't have to go to UK." So I attended that workshop, first workshop. where I really met some stalwarts of IP, and one of them became my mentor. I would be happy mentioning his name, Mr. T.C. James. He was Under Secretary at the Copyright Division at that time, which was at that time under Ministry of HR, which is now under Ministry of Industry and Commerce. And he became my amazing mentor, and till today we are so well connected. He pushed me that go for patent, go for the patent agent exam. I did that, and then never looking back.
Wow. So let's build a conversation. With globalization, cross-border IP issues are rising. How do you navigate international IP challenges?
Wonderful question, Amir. And I would say that issues with respect to IP are common, more or less in every country. So whether we talk about our country or we talk about any other country, there may be, intensity difference. Somewhere things have evolved already, like in the developed nations. And if you talk about top 5 countries that represent IP, they are way ahead. We are still, finding our ways. So one is awareness, other is respect. So at some countries, the level of awareness is low. People don't know whether this is IP, this should be protected or not protected, or if it is protected, then should I really respect that? So if you look at today's scenario, we are into startup journey, and many of the startups, sometimes they think that IP is going to provide them some good funding. So it's definitely in their bullet point. I have done 3 IP, 5 IP, 10 IP, etc. But my thing is that having IP is one aspect, but whether you have cleanup IP. So you have, and have you ensured that you are not infringing somebody else's? So this is one aspect where I see locally, domestic, in the national atmosphere, as well as internationally, in the culture where the awareness is low, these issues are more. Where awareness is high, these issues are less.
Wow. Okay. Next interesting question. What are some of the biggest challenges organizations face today in protecting their intellectual assets? So not only organizations, as you said, startups,
Huh.
individuals also. So overall, we want answer.
This is this is a question which is very close to me, very close to my heart. Before protecting the issue, what we are facing, if I talk about our startups, our organizations in the country, it is majorly like whether I can innovate. So first starting point is innovation. And where innovation starts, I've been going through the journey of I did my schooling and I did my college, and then I'm landing into the job. That is where I would start innovating. How does it happen? How is it possible that you are never innovative, you are never creative, and then suddenly one day when you are in the job, you are pushed to create? So the mindset is one problem which I am seeing, very big problem which every organization is facing, where everyone is looking for intelligence, not artificial. People are going with artificial intelligence, whereas natural intelligence is the one which has ability to create, to innovate, to generate. That is not happening. If that is not happening, then how would we create the IP? So the mindset, I think maybe some role played by our education system, lack of awareness, all those put together, we feel that in the journey of IP creation, we are still lagging way behind.
Wow. Okay. So as you said, innovation you brought up. So let's cover your interest in innovation. Over 2 decades, you have shepherded innovation from ideas to protected asset. What, in your experience, is the most common misconception about protecting an idea, and how has your view of this process evolved over the years?
Wow. So, first part of your question, which is basically the misconception. One major misconception is that we are not able to create IP is one misconception. Uh, IP is something, rocket science. You have to become Einstein, then only you will be able to become inventor. So, since the beginning, whomsoever I have come across who is either a inventor or a potential inventor, the challenge I see is that this undervaluing your thinking process. And since you undervalue, you probably are not thinking from the problem solution approach. So we are seeing a problem. And then what we start doing it, okay, what are the solutions available? Sometimes solutions are here in our brain. We are not utilizing that. So that is where the misconception of not having the ability to create IP is one major. Why? What I see evolving over the years, I think there are huge amount of efforts, and those efforts are yielding wonderful results. We still have a long way to go, but if I talk about two particular statistics with specific reference to our country, one is Global Innovation Index. In 2014-15, we were at in 80s. It's something like 140 countries, Global Innovation Index is there, and we are at that level. Very recently, I think last month, the latest Global Innovation Index got published, and now we are at 37. So it is showing that we are moving ahead. Similarly, in terms of IP filing. So IP filing, which was like we were maximum going up to 50,000 or so, and we currently are at 6th position in the world per year IP filing, and great feeling that first time in the history we have crossed the 1 lakh number in 1 year IP filing. So it is evolving, the results are visible.
That's beautiful. So my next question will be, how is government educational system and the incubation centers supporting innovation and the startup founders?
Aha. I think my previous question answer has something into it, but I'll go further. So I think government is very much engaged. I see many a times our Prime Minister challenging people that we have to innovate. So India innovate or innovate India. So I think that is there. I see from the Controller General perspective that a lot of initiatives taken. There's a huge amount of recruitment happen from the patent office side, which I observed that number of patent examiners, controllers have increased, which means it is going to, there's a volume. Last year, there was a good cleanup activity that happened at the patent office where there's no backlog. We are maybe better, if not at par, with many, those top 5 IP offices in the world. So that is happening. There are many financial funding and support is happening. There are organizations, those fundings are available for any startup to help them filing IP within India and even outside India. So Ministry of Electronics, MIT, they have funding. There are some venture capitalists who are also providing that support, and as you mentioned in your question, that incubators. So I think those are facilitating amazingly to help the young minds to any startup to create IP, to help them protecting IP. So starting from ideation to actual commercial product, that level, those things are happening where they're helping in proof of concept to real production.
Wow. That is the government part. Now let's come to your part. Having seen trends come and go, how do you guide young minds to distinguish between a fleeting fad and a genuine, protectable innovation with lasting values?
I would say one word: passion. So, being an innovator is not a one time activity.
Yes.
Being an innovator is a habit, it's a passion. You don't become Einstein unless you fail 100 times. So, Einstein or many such examples would not become what they became by failing. So, accept those failures and move on. And keep on doing that. Everything you do with the approach of problem solution approach, and have the passion. Don't go for the number, okay, I need to create this 10 IP or 15 IP or 20 IP. Rather, I want to go deep. All those Silicon Valleys are there in every city of India, provided we just change this mindset of going through our passion. I think that will help.
Wow. So, Neeraj, innovation is often chaotic, while protection requires structure and process. How do you reconcile these two opposing forces to ensure creativity isn't stifled by the very systems designed to protect it? And how do you motivate the young innovators to stay motivated?
Beautiful question. And I tell you, you are very right. Many a times, as an IP professional, I come across that, okay, invention disclosure is there, but not rightly knowing where the invention is exactly, and how, to what extent we should be protecting it, how broad we can go, or in some cases, how narrow we should be able to go. So, in this chaos, finding the structure, following the process is the job by every patent attorney to be done well. And patent attorney's job is also to look all the potential possible future outcomes. So you are not only protecting what has come to you, but you should be able to have that vision or visualize that it can go further. And if an IP professional can provide that kind of protection to that chaotic invention, that is the job done. So I think it is not something great to be done, but this is the job for any IP professional to do, to find that right amount of organization within the chaotic innovative behavior.
So let's reflect on your long career. What has been the most significant shift in the landscape of innovation you've seen, and what new vulnerabilities or opportunities does this present for creators and companies today?
Many such instances happen where you sometimes feel that it's a plateau, but then something happens, technological changes are coming, things, though it comes like in maybe 100 years, COVID sort of things start coming where looks like everything stopped. So that was very big thing for me, and I think for most of the people in the world. And how do you figure out? How do you continue being productive, continue to be being innovative? And innovation also requires collaboration. So finding those ways out, you collaborate not only with your co-inventors, but also with your protectors, in the sense with the patent attorneys who's able to understand invention and continue protecting. So that was one aspect I would say noticed major. That was, I think, in my lifetime, that was the major one. Now, how I see the future, the trends which are able to provide more and more opportunities. I think opportunities are enormous. The major aspect what we have to push towards our young generation is create. It should be inbuilt in their thinking process that I own it and I own the space and I am ready to deliver. For myself, I represent my family, I represent my country, I represent my organization, and how, whether it's a journey of AI, whether it's journey of any ed tech, med tech. So technology is the future. How we adopt the technologies and how do we make the difference in the better, brighter, stronger future for our next generations. That is where I see, and it's enormous. It's enormous. The only thing is we just need to take the first step. Sometimes people say that, we are avoiding risk. I don't think so. I don't think we are risk averse people. If you go to the roads, the way we drive, nobody would be able to believe us that we don't take risk. But we are probably stopping ourselves from taking the first step. Take the first step, grab the opportunity, and deliver.
Wow. So let's go memory down the lane. Can you share an example where IP strategy directly impacted business growth or competitiveness?
Yes, there are many examples. I think uh, when you come up with a product which you are also thinking whether we should go for IP or should not go for IP, and finally it is realized that IP is created. And then what happens? It gets published. At the same time, there's somebody else has also filed at the same time. Now, unpublished, any information is not considered as prior art. So, now two people can think alike. And in such cases, who's going to win the patent? The one who has filed the first.
Yes.
So I think there are several such instances globally where I've seen that, not taking that right time first step and you're missing maybe by few days. There are cases I would not like to name where just by 2 weeks missed same solution. And why same solution? Because everybody is facing the same problem. So it is very much possible that 2, 3, 4, 5 people are thinking alike and coming up with the same solution. Who's coming first and protecting it would win.
Wow. So looking back, what is the most valuable leadership lesson you have learned in your career?
Amir, leadership lessons. Being a leader, I learned one thing is that you are a leader, then you are responsible, you are accountable, and your first and foremost responsibility is to create leaders. So when I am out of the organization, out of the world, and looking back, how many leaders I have created. This is one thing, every leader has a responsibility, and this is my major motive that when I retire from life and I look back, I see, a big fleet of leaders created who can think independently and who can create value out of the value.
Wow. Okay. So Neeraj, in endurance sports, pacing is everything. How do you apply the concept of strategic pacing to your professional life to avoid burnout and ensure sustained performance over 2 decades plus journey?
So when when case of you mentioned endurance, and I keep experimenting with myself in terms of endurance. Endurance is a mindset. So many times when you go for, say, marathon or you go for a climb, you set something in your mind that this is where I need to go. Whether you set your clock by number of hours or minutes, that today I will be running for 1 hour or 2 hours, or today I'll be completing 10 kilometers. All those aspects are your final line. If you go next day and say, today I would like to do 12 or 15, you'll go. So it all starts here. Endurance help. It definitely helps you in reaching there to that extra mile. But where it all starts is in the mind. You can win the entire game in your mind, or you can lose the entire game in your mind. Same thing happens in innovation. When you go with the approach that I want to come out with a solution, come what may, whatever limitations, resources, challenges I have, but I would like to provide the solution, you will provide the solution.
Yes, beautiful. So my next question about technology. What role does technology like AI or digital tools play in modern IP management?
I think all these technological solutions, tools are there to help. Sometimes I hear this question, many people, and I think many of us must have heard or must have come across this question many times, that whether AI will take away the jobs, will take away the work. I don't think so. I think AI or any technological solution that is coming out is there to help you. Whether you look in the past, whenever computers came into India and people were scared, and then this millennial bug and all those things started happening and people got scared, but you see how many jobs got created. My take on this is adopt AI. Adopt as much as you can. AI will not take your job, but the people who have adopted AI will take away your job. So adopt it. Make a friendship and keep moving.
Very beautiful. So my last question for a professional journey round. You actively mentor youngsters. What's the single most important piece of advice you find yourself giving to the next generation of innovators? And why does a particular lesson stand out? And what will I'm adding one more layer. What would you give to young lawyers who want to protect innovation?
One question, multiple questions. Okay. So I love mentoring, and I think this I inherited from my mother. So my mother was a teacher, so that teacher is still there in me, some or the other way. Professionally, I'm not a teacher, but I love teaching, I love mentoring. And this is also my way to give back to the society. I have taken a lot, which has helped me in becoming whatever I have become today. So when I meet any youngster, and youngster could be a 10 years old or 20 or even 30. The most important advice to any youngster is, don't stop thinking. Use a beautiful part of your body given by the Almighty is the brain. Don't take this brain as fresh as it was given to us. Use it. More and more you use it, better and better you'll become. The challenge is, if you don't use it, you will not be able to create the value which you're supposed to. One more aspect which I'm trying to help youngsters, I'm reaching out to the schools, and I'm thinking that innovation should be part of the curriculum of school education. It should be part of the universities, where you are learning to experiment, learning to innovate, learning to fail.
Yeah.
failures are equally and maybe more important than succeeding. You fail, you come up with a better solution. So I hope I would be able to contribute something there where school education has this part of the curriculum. Uh, then we will be able to become the most uh, critical society of innovators, not only for our country but for the world. I think that kind of vision should be there, and I believe that our leadership in the country currently is following that, and hope that would yield results. Coming to the professional, the new lawyers, somewhat same thing, that we as a professional are there to support innovators. They may not know what to do, how to do. One is our profession gives us bread and butter. Now, start with bread, go for the butter, but at the same time, remember that we have responsibility to give back. So, pro bono is something which is not that much common in our country, though it is part of Advocate Act. It is required, but I think we are still not that organized or not that formalized with respect to doing pro bono or giving back. I think for any lawyer, it is mandatory that we should do this more and more. Reach out to those grassroots innovators, reach out to those who need your legal aid, legal help, provide them. These startups who are figuring out, who are not following the conventional approach of finding a job, rather finding a job creating opportunity for many, how can we help them? How a legal professional can go and help them? Hey, you are required to figure out what all kind of agreements you require. How do you connect with your uh, uh, financial supporter and things like that. So that is where I see that it's majorly from the professional side. We should be able to be ready to give back.
Wow. So let's go to the next round and understand Neeraj as a person. Briefly, you have shared about your family, but tell us about your family and formative years.
As I said, the most important impact on me is from my mother. My mother, who's passed exactly 2 years ago.
Sorry. To
Yeah, but when in the corporate world, in the professional world, we hear about leadership, I saw a leader at home. She was amazing, wonderful leader. So is my father. My father, um, he picked up one social cause to give back, and he decided that I would like to create a community center for people who are needy, for people who cannot afford to uh, stay in a hotel. So he has recently, a couple of weeks ago, a dharamshala, which can be used for, I think, in at a time, at least 100 people can stay there. So that's the kind of work he did. I am blessed to have my wonderful life partner who has helped me in becoming what I became. I am a father of 3 children, 2 girls who are in the university, and a young boy who's making me university nowadays. So I am blessed with amazing family, surrounded with all thinkers, and that impact is visible in my social understanding as well.
Wow. Beautiful. So, Neeraj, when you're not immersed in patents and legal frameworks, what hobbies keep you refreshed?
Fitness. So one is fitness. I figure out something that helps me in staying engaged. So I play badminton, which which is not only helping me in staying fit, but also staying my cognitive aspects also engaged. Because when you play badminton or any racket game for that matter, you're thinking, where your opponent is and where you should be hitting,
Yes.
etc. Apart from that, I do running, road running. Sometimes I go for hiking because I'm living in Pune. Pune is a beautiful place, a lot of mountains. So pick one mountain one day and then go there. It also gives me opportunity to be with myself. One thing I learned over the years that in your life, who is the most important person? And when I ask this question to many, varied answers you receive. But my answer is that I am the most important person in my life because if I don't care of myself, how would I provide the care to others whom I think are important in my life? But what happens in this engaged life, busy life, professional, personal, social commitments, we forget that most important person, and that is yourself. So while going for hiking, while going for running, I stay with myself. I like to spend time with myself, and that way I think I nurture those aspects which, sometimes your soul, your insight is telling you that, hey, listen to me, and you just ignore. So, spending time with self is also important, and that is what I like to do.
Wow. Okay. Your biggest achievement, standing on the summit of Kilimanjaro after a long, arduous climb. How was the feeling and how did you get attracted to climbing mountains?
Okay, so I'm not a mountaineer. I do a little bit hiking until doing Kilimanjaro. So Kilimanjaro I did this year. Um, it was August 15th when we have our Indian Independence Day. We, a group of 4, decided to start our Kilimanjaro hiking or expedition. So this got decided in early part of this year, in I think January or somewhere, where I signed up that okay, I would like to do a mountaineering. This is also something I entered into new decade of my life in my 50s. So every decade I did something which I did not do earlier. So when I entered my 40s, I did my first marathon. So this year I did mountain climbing, and Kilimanjaro, my God, it's a mighty Kilimanjaro.
Yes.
It's not an easy climb, that I can tell you. But the feeling of completing a climb was difficult to capture in words because the moment I reached on the top, I had tears in my eyes and I had Indian flag in my hands. That was amazing accomplishment which I feel no equivalent feeling would be there. And I realized that mountains teach you a lot. Mountains teach you a lot of leadership lessons which otherwise you may not be able to figure out because every hill or every ridge you cross, you realize there's something else,
Correct.
more to go. And then there are some slogans. You keep listening and keep motivating yourself. For example, in Kilimanjaro, the slogan was Hakuna Matata. Keep moving.
Correct.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy. So that kind of motive was there. But this mountain hiking has taught me one very important lesson which otherwise probably I would have not learned. When I signed up with my friends, I did not know how difficult it's going to be. As the time was coming closer, my wife and few others started telling me that hey, have you practiced well? I said, why are you asking? No, it's not easy. So people started really giving me some scaring messages that this is difficult, there's no construction, it is barren land and rocky mountains sometimes you have to climb. And I started coming up with a doubt whether I signed up rightly or wrongly. Uh, but it was too late because I already paid the money. Now it's better to go.
Correct.
So started and accomplished. So lesson is this. Sometimes it's very good to not knowing the difficulty of your goal. If you don't know how difficult it is, chances are that you'll achieve it. Because if you know the difficulty, the chances are that you may walk out. So my lesson is that once you sign up, go for it and you'll be able to finish it. It
Wow.
happened.
Okay. So, what advice would you give to freshers for preparation to take part in marathon? Then I'm taking three parts, huh? Uh, to take part in marathon, then hiking, and then mountain climbing. So you've got three experiences.
I would uh, I would say maybe this way that fitness is very important. Um, in Hindi, we used to say that, and my Hindi teacher, I remember, स्वस्थ शरीर में स्वस्थ मस्तिष्क का वास होता है. So, if you are fit, your cognitive skills would also be fitter. But if you are unfit, chances are that even the quality of your brain and thinking is also deteriorated. So, whether it is marathon running, which will be keeping you athletic, hiking, which is going to give you a strong endurance, because hiking is like you're doing for a day or so, and then climbing mountain is teaching you leadership, which is needed. I feel leader is not the one who's sitting at a particular level. I always feel that everyone is a leader in some or the other way. How I lead my way would define you the kind of leader you are. So, whether run or walk or climb, you don't have to stop because fitness is important. If you don't take care of your body, body will not take care of you.
Wow. So, what is a childhood memory which you reflect back, brings a smile on your face?
My mother. My mother, we are four brothers. I am the eldest one. Whenever I remember, all six of us together, it it's amazing to be in those days. Opportunity will not be taking us back in those days. So then we we live those moments through our children. But I think going back in the memory lane is that those careless days where you're least bothered of what's happening in life. You are just enjoying the childhood. So school days, many students do not enjoy, thinking that, hey, these guys who are in the job, they are enjoying because they are getting money. For me, the best part of your life is the student life. There are some challenges, but the best part where you are free from any sort of accountability, responsibility that you have to provide bread to somebody, you have to provide vegetable to somebody, etc. You don't have to bring money to home. Rather, you have to just gain for yourself. So, my student life with my family days were amazing.
Wow. Okay, so tell us about your Human Milk Bank project. What inspired you to start this project and how has experience been?
A little nostalgic. This was year 2019 ending and 2020 beginning, the year which everybody got impacted. So we were expecting our son. As I mentioned, he is the youngest. So whatever we think, things do not happen that way. So there's a supernatural power above all of us that decides. So we plan, it may work, may not work, but if it is planned by that Almighty,
Supreme.
it has its own way to handle things. So our son arrived in this planet too early than expected. So he's a 24-weeker boy. And he was extremely lightweight. As a result, mother milk was not available. I was told by doctors that we have to get mother milk. So there's a hospital in Pune, and that hospital had mother milk. So there's a procedure. So they do scanning. It's like you select who should be the donor for blood. Similarly, who should be a donor for milk. So that procedure, and then they pasteurize it, they keep it, and I think for 1 week or 10 days only, it's all right. Otherwise, they don't use it. So we were doing that for 84 days. He was in ICU, and every day this was the exercise. So we started with 5 ml, 250 ml. And then every day whenever I was going, I used to see this is such a nice thing they have done. My son is getting milk from thousands of mothers, not only one. And despite being extremely premature, he is healthy, he is amazing, he is multilingual. So that is the blessing, right? But this got stuck in my mind. When we reached home after getting him discharged, our doctors advised that please take care that he is still in those early days, so exposure should be limited. But again, you see how Almighty did. He said keep the similar NICU-like atmosphere at home. Within a week's time, the entire country became an ICU. There was a lockdown. You're not supposed to go anywhere. No, nobody's supposed to come to you. So it was amazing. 6 months. And that time so when I was going to Mother Milk Bank, I noticed that this was done by Rotary Club.
Okay.
So I thought maybe I should connect with Rotary Club, and the hospital where he was born, we should have mother milk or human milk bank. So I wrote to Rotary. I got a response. Meanwhile, I joined Rotary for this very purpose. And at the same time, I spoke to management of the hospital where he is born, and he's a wonderful friend. He said, we'll do it. Because there's a commitment, you have to provide space, you have to provide at least 2 or 3 resources, a lactation consultants, all those people got together. It's like, it's planned that way.
Yes.
All these people will come together. And last year, it got inaugurated. So in the same hospital, this is first mother milk or human milk bank in East Pune. And I think last year, as I understood from the lactation consultant, that they have supported by, I think, 1.5 quintal of human milk.
Wow.
So it's doing already wonder. It was my way to give back what we have received as a blessing. I think many of the people would require that. So that was the cause.
Beautiful. So, Neeraj, if your friends had to describe you in 3 words, what would they say?
Passion, emotion, and strength.
Beautiful. So, which is that book or movie which has left a lasting impact on you?
Movie is Kal Ho Na Ho. Because I feel that whatever you want to do it, do it. Whether kal ho, na ho, whatever you want to do it.
No.
I don't like to have a bucket list. Decided, okay, let's climb Kilimanjaro, climbed. So it's not that. So many people, when got to know that you are doing Kilimanjaro, they said, oh, it's there in my bucket list for ages. I said, I just got into this for this year, did it, done. So whatever you want to do it. So that you can avoid those regrets. Life
Correct.
is uncertain. The way I lost my mother, it was sudden. I spoke to her just 3 days before. And I was thinking, because she was there outside India with my younger brother before that, and I was thinking when they came back, I'll go and I'll meet. But I could not meet her. So, again, it has given me the reinforcement of this particular thought that whatever you want to do it right now.
Correct.
So,
Wow. Okay. What legacy would you like to leave behind?
education. I come from educationist background. My mother was a teacher, and it's not necessary I'm going to talk about the schools and this, but education has a larger meaning. What we talk about education is very superficial. I also wonder, Amir, and I'm sure you would agree with that, whether it's our children, whether our neighbors, you talk to anybody, no one in the list of their career would mention teacher. No one would like to become a teacher. I don't know why. But whatever you become in the future, who will make you? Who will help you in becoming what you want to become?
Yes.
Is a teacher.
Yep.
And no one has interest to be a teacher. What an irony. So I would like to leave something behind where that education part is highlighted and able to
Yeah.
create the difference in the student's life.
Beautiful. Okay. So, what message, another emotional one, what message would you like to give to your children when they would ye are missing you and you want to connect with you?
Own your space. Whatever you're doing, that is belonging to you. Do it. I am always there. Like I feel my mother is there. Whosoever is not there is like only the physical form is not there, but people are there in your thoughts, and that is more important than having them around in the physical format. So I would ask them, and I tell them even today, own your space. That belongs to you, and have that confidence.
Beautiful. So, my last one is a googly one. Describe Neeraj in one line.
Neeraj is simple, humble, and happy person.
Wow. So, let's put in the hot seat, the rapid fire round, your go to comfort food,
Indian food.
your favorite color,
Blue.
patents or trademarks,
Patents.
you're an early bird or night owl,
Early. Early bird.
innovation or protection, what
In-
comes first,
Innovation.
your favorite color,
Blue.
dream travel place,
Kashmir.
best piece of advice received,
Own your space.
one word that defines your leadership style,
Uh, leave behind the leadership, the legacy.
tea or coffee to recharge,
Coffee.
at the coffee shop. And you did well, and here's the book.
Oh,
And it has been autographed. So, our conversation with Neeraj shows us that intellectual property is not just about protecting ideas, it's about enabling progress, driving innovation, and shaping the future of industries. With his vast experience and passion for fostering creativity, Neeraj exemplifies the role of a modern legal leader who balances protection with progress. As we close this episode, we leave inspired by his journey, a reminder that behind every innovation is a lawyer safeguarding its value. So, like that, there are 800 plus speakers who have shared their professional, personal journeys, insights. Subscribe to the Coffee Con Show on YouTube, implement in your life, see the changes, and we connect with another speaker over a cup of coffee. Take care. Thank you.